Hey friends, I just wanted to come on and say hello and say a big thank you to everybody that is in our community and made this such a wonderful year for my besties. And being a part of this creative community with me has been such a blessing and so fun. And I just am so thankful, and I wanted you all to know that. And sorry if I sound a little raspy, but I have had the bug. I have had this bug now. It feels like forever. I think I'm on week 4 for having this bug, and I think I'm getting better, and I get up and I do something, and the next thing you know, it's got me knocked back down again. So I'm battling this bug, so I sound a little bit raspy, so just forgive me for that. But anyway, I wanted to come on and I wanted to share with you some of the new besties that I'm working on and chat with you and ink some of them up and draw a few of them. These are some of the new ones that are coming out in January, and they'll be on the website, and they will also be a lot of these will be on our Patreon, free on our Patreon, my Patreon website. So I'm going to do some cute little sweet blooming besties with little bloomers and flowers for spring, because I'm feeling kind of springy. I know everybody's buried in snow in certain states, but this gives us something happy and cheerful to color. Then I'm doing some more of the Fabulers. Fabulers is a book that I wrote in the early 90s and published it at a doll show back in Dallas, Texas. And so I wanted to draw some of them. So I've been working on these. And I started inking this one. This one I haven't inked, as you can tell. But they're so whimsical and sweet little faces. Then I've been working on a new collection that I want to do some forest characters. Archie and Abigail at Stickville. They're acorn folk. So they're little acorn people that I started drawing, and these are just some sketches that I started sketching and inking in a little bit to see. And I also make little stick furniture, and I've made it for years with my Fabler dolls. And so I'm drawing and sketching some of that. So these will be on our Patreon as well. And here's a cute another little springy, summery girl that I'm doing for the Patreons. That'll be out in January. And then I'm a doodler, guys. If I'm on the phone, I'm doodling. I've got a pen in my hand and I'm scribbling and doodling. And so I started doing a little Fabler the other day, and so I thought, oh, I really like her, so I'm going to turn her into a stamp. So I'm working on her. So she is one that will also be, she's going to be in I'm republishing my book. I published my book, like I said, back in the 90s at a doll show, IDEX doll show in Texas. And I decided that I would republish that book and also do a coloring book along with it. And some of it will be in color, so I'll do different varieties of them. So we'll have coloring books, we'll have the story along with it. The story is really adorable, and it's really about the rainforest, and that these little creatures, these little fabulers, exist in the rainforest, and that their goal is to reach a human child, because they realize that their rainforest is being destroyed, and if they could reach a human child, that they could be saved. So that's sort of the storyline behind that book. That's just a general, outline of what it is, but it's a really cute book that I wrote in the very early 90s. And then, as I said, I published it back then at the doll show, was the first publication. Then I'm going to be coloring this little girl for Patreon. I'm going to publish her again in my Patreon, and I'll be coloring her finishing up this month. So if you guys want to color along with me, you can join me over on my Patreon, and you'll get her for free, and we'll be coloring her up. So we are staying home for New Year's, and we're not going out. We're going to stay in the house. I hope you guys cannot hear my neighbors party. My neighbors are having a party, and the music's kind of loud, so we know we're going to be up for a while. But I thought I'd come in and I would ink. I'm going to do, this is a 5, but I think I'm going to do an 8 on this one. This is the pen that I'm using, if you guys can see that. And I think I will ink her in an 8. Give her a little bit of a thicker line. So I'd love to hear in the comments what you guys have been up to crafting and what you've been coloring. We've got some new books coming out this month, new coloring books on Amazon and as digital downloads in the shop. I've got a new group of books coming out that are children's coloring books. They're designed specifically for children with a little bit easier, simpler drawings, not so complicated. The whole page is not complicated. And then we also, I'm working on some children's educational books. And so we've got quite a few different types of books coming out. We've got some coloring books that are much more complicated, have a lot of things in them to color. But the first 2 books that we've got coming out are going to be gnome coloring books. We've had a lot of requests for a lot of gnomes. Again, I've been doing gnomes for years, but you guys have been asking for them again, so I have some that are coming out very soon for you. Then we've got, let's see, what is it? Oh, it's my Snow White and the 8 Dwarfs. So there's a storyline behind the 8 Dwarfs, which is really cute, which will be revealed in each of the books, in the coloring books. And I've also been working on a story for that particular book, because we're incorporating some of our stories in with the coloring books that I've done, the storybooks that I've done over the years, and now incorporating them into some of the coloring books, which I thought would be really fun for you guys. And some of the stories behind each little bestie, like where did it come from? What was my inspiration? Where did I get specific ones that I drew? You know, how did they come about? And those are also going to be in some of the books, because it's kind of cute to have the storyline, I think, with the besties, so you know where they came from, you know what the story is behind them. So let's get her little chin drawn in. So she, like I said, she's going to be in the store, and there's also a 50% sale going on in the store. There's a coupon I'll be sending out. If you're not on our mailing list on the My Besties shop, be sure to join it, because I send out emails all the time whenever we have sales and discount codes in there for you. So you can always get some kind of discount and make your crafting fun and affordable. So she'll be, like I said, in Patreon, and she'll be in the store as well. So she's just one of the little freckle face bloomer besties. I came up with these bloomers years ago because my daughters, I would put them in bloomers. I used to design clothing. I was in the rag business and designed clothing as well as doing my art. And I had a clothing line called Wild Child for children, and a adult line called Passion Designs. And I designed country for the Country Music Awards, clothing for the Country Music Awards. as well as I had reps in the LA Mart and the Dallas Mart. And so I did a lot of little bloomers and lacy outfits like this for my children's line and for my 2 daughters. So that's where a lot of my inspiration has come from over the years, is my own 2 daughters and family members. So on Patreon, once I ink this little girl in, I will go over on Patreon and color her up with you and show you how I would color her in, and also finish this one. I started this one. This was on a video with, I believe it was, this one was on with the Principal Diamond Painter, Kara, and I was coloring her during that live. We had a live video that we did together, and she will be finished over on Patreon as well. I'll finish her up over there. So it seems like almost everybody I've talked to is staying home, I think except for our neighbors that are having a party. I think they're all pretty much staying home and quiet this year and just relaxing. So I think she's going to come out really cute. She's just got a real sweet, when I color her in, I think I'm going to give her like a little, the fabric that I'm going to create on her is going to be like little sweet flowers. But I'll leave her kind of simple so that whoever colors her can make their own pattern on her dress. So those of you that have colored besties this year, how many besties have you colored this year? And if you're not in our Facebook group, I would love for you to join our Facebook group. So you could come in there and share what you color and how you color them. I love seeing what you do with besties. We've got people that come in all the time and share over there, and it's called My Besties Tips and Deals, I think is the name of our group. I should know that better, right? And then we have an official coloring book group as well. There's a lot of different groups for different countries as well. So if you're from a different country, they've put together Facebook groups over there in other countries as well. So I've got my trusty eraser that I've just about used up. I've got new erasers around here somewhere, but I'm not sure where they are. So I'm just going to start to erase a little bit and clean her up before I do her eyes. Get most of the pencil marks off right now. I wanted to start the little woodland characters, the little acorn characters. I just felt like doing something a little woodsy and a little foresty, and I thought it would be really cute and easy to color up as well. Okay, let's see. Now I need to erase her a little bit more here. Oh. That's it. I'll erase and then I'll go back and I'll see, oh, there's 4 or 5 places that I need to still erase. But I'm going to put some little pleats in her skirt. There we go. And I think I'm going to, I think what I'll do is I want to ink her, I want to color her a little bit. So I'm going to start to color her before I ink anything else and show you some of the colors that I use. We're going to try, some of my markers are needing to be refilled. So we're going to start out and see what we've got here that doesn't need to be refilled and isn't dry. This one is a little dry. This is E000, and I do have a refill for her, this one. Okay. And I start out with, I go with the lighter colors first, and then I go to darker colors and blend them in. This is a new paper that I tried, and I'll look up what this paper is. I've been trying some different papers, new papers, and I've been trying also some new markers. I've got a bunch of new markers to share with you guys on different ones to try. And I've got these new pencils too. I'm gonna try these. These are graphite matte. So I'm anxious to try these. I am really thrilled with the possibility, because you know how if you use any kind of graphite, you get that shine, that sheen. So I'm excited to try these out, and I'll do that. I'll share that with you guys when I do use them and see how they come out, see what they work out to be. So I just kind of basically just go over just to give sort of like a coat of marker, because we're just going to blend this over and over again and see how this does with this paper. Plus I really do need some ink in here, so I'm gonna take a second and load this with some more ink. So you just get one of these little refills and drop it in. Let's see here. Let's see what I've got over here. Okay. I'm going to put it in the other end and see if it just goes in a lot easier. So I'm just refilling it like this. It's just pretty simple. You just drop it in and refill it. You can also take the nibs out and refill it if you want. Well, hello, Dottie. My little doggie has just come over and decided to crawl on my lap. She's a border collie, so she's not very little. She wants to get in my lap. Okay. So we'll see if that helps the amount of ink that is in here. I've got new pens, but I don't have them all out yet, so there we go. Even though this may go on and look like a little blotchy right now, it will all blend in once I layer it up. Okay. So what I'm going to do next, I think I'm going to try this marker and see how this does for filling in her eyes. This is this one. You guys can see that. I really like Copic's the best so far. I have a bunch of new markers, like I said, to try out with you guys and see what we think of them. I've done a couple videos on a couple of them they're up on YouTube that I really liked pretty well. But Copic definitely is my favorite. This one seems to have like a little split at the tip, so it's kind of making like a feathery look. So just color her eyeballs in real quick. Let me know in the comments what you guys use to color. Do you use mostly colored pencils, markers? And if you get digital besties, do you print them on watercolor and watercolor with them, or distressed inks? I'm anxious to do a few more. I did some back a few years ago in distressed inks, and I really liked it. They were a winter series that I did, and I really liked them. So, okay, let's see. Let's do this one, RB10. So I'm going to come in and do her cheeks up. I'm going to switch my glasses. This is RV10. And I just do a little flicking and bring it into toward her middle of her cheeks. I hope you guys can't hear that music. I thought I'd do a video tonight, you know, being the end of the year, and just come in and chat a little bit with you guys and do a little coloring, and wish everybody an amazing 2023. Let's hope it gets better, right? And our neighbors decided they were going to have a party. And so the music's kind of loud. And then what I do is I always come back and I just blend over this, because I'm going to use colored pencils anyway. I don't ever do just markers. I really like the look that I get if I use markers and I use colored pencils. It really gives a beautiful layered look, and I know a lot of you have asked me how I color, and that is one of the things that I definitely do. Okay, this one is, I don't know if I said that this one was E000, and then this one is E13, and I'm just gonna go right around the edge to outline just very, 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 very lightly. And then while it's still kind of damp, I go in and I start blending. That edge out. And you know, I think everybody you kind of pick up your own techniques. There's a lot of different techniques out there and different ways to do it, different ways that people do it. And I think you just kind of pick up, once you start working with markers and colored pencils, you just start figuring out, you know, what works for you and what you like, how you like to do it. But blending, blending, blending. And you know what I forgot to do, guys? I forgot to scan this. So this is going to be a grayscale, unless I have to just retrace it all over again. So I might have to do that. I might have to retrace it because I did not scan this little girl as line art. I was so anxious to color her and chat with you guys that I totally forgot that I needed to scan her. So I'll redo her. I'll redraw her again for everybody. You just want to pull everything toward the center of her face and her cheeks. This is just basically how I get the face, how I start the face. I'm going to do a little bit more shading right here. You kind of just work it to where it just almost disappears, but it's still, that hue is still there. So there's still like a shadow underneath her little headband. Now I'm going to go back in with my RV10 and pop those cheeks out again a little bit. And then I want to just a little pink up here on her forehead. And then a little pink right here and blend that out. Okay. Then one of the things I like to do is, let's see if this is the one that's a little dark, it's a little lighter. I like to put a little bit of a slight blue hue right under her eyelid. I used to be a makeup artist for Estee Lauder, Borghese, and a few other lines, but I worked for years with Estee Lauder when I was younger. And one of the things that I always did was I always took a little blue like this, and right underneath the eyelashes on the bottom, I would put in a little blue just to brighten the eye there. And this one is B00, and this one was B000. So now I'm going to start layering the color in her eyes. I'll work on her face tonight, and then I'll do another video where then I start working on her clothes before I finish coloring her in completely, because that way it'll make it easier for me to redraw her. One of the cool things about that I do like about Copics too is that they have a, see if I don't have any of it, do I have one? Anyway, they have one that's a 0, and the 0, like if you go outside the line, you just use the 0 and just blend it, and it takes it off. Mine's empty. I got to fill it back up. I haven't colored for so long. I've been so busy with diamond paintings and drawing new besties that I just haven't taken the time to color very much. But I've had so many of you ask me, would I color and do some coloring toward different lessons in teaching how I color. I mean, there's nothing really special about how I color. I color, like I said, with my own style, because I just want it to be pretty easy and simple for me to just achieve the look that I get, is just with markers and colored pencils. And then I do use some other things, like these markers. I really like these too. They're very, very fun to work with. I have done a lot of acrylic painting in the past, and I want to do more. I want to do canvas, more canvas, but that's going to be in the future. Okay, I'm going to take, let's try some B12. And just start right at the top of the eyeball, like right here, and just kind of flick it down on that side as well. And then I'm going to come back with the B00 and then blend that. So you just kind of pull it down, to pull the darker color down a little bit further then, and kind of blend that tip out right there. Okay, then let's see, where is my, this is YG21, and I like to put a little bit of highlight right in here in the eye. With that bright color, and this is just a little, this is Y02. Then I'm going to go back in with my B00 and blend that out. We're going to be doing some new coloring books that are done with the colored paper that Amazon now offers. And that paper's a little different. So you guys are going to be able to see what that paper is going to be like with some of the new books we've got coming out. And we'll see how they do. We'll see how it works. But I'm interested to see how that works, because I know that with using markers on the coloring books from Amazon right now, you really need to have like some kind of, you know, cardstock or something in between the pages so that they don't bleed through. So I think that that's going to be an interesting thing to see how that comes out for us. We're going to try that out. We've also got some that are coming out that are going to be hardcover books with our collector's editions in them. So I think that those are going to be really fun too. Okay, so now I'm going to take the E13 again, and I'm just going to go just barely. See, I'm just barely outside the edge of the black. Just going to slightly do that right there. And then I'm going to take this and just kind of blend that out a little bit. And then take the blue and blend it out a little bit. We're going to go over that with colored pencil as well. But I love the way that this looks when you just give it just a little bit right around the eye. Right there. And then we'll just blend this a little. So my goal this year is to get at least one, if not two videos up a week for our Patreons, and try to get them up on YouTube as well, so that we have more videos coming out, because I know you guys have been asking me for more videos. So I'm going to do my best to do that this year. All right, so I'm going to sharpen this pencil if it lets me. And you guys, forgive me for sniffing, but this cold is not going away. Got a fancy electric sharpener, but this one works really, really well. It's really great. You can get it on Amazon, and it's just really great. So now we're going to go in with a little bit of colored pencil, and I'll give you guys an idea of how I do the cheeks. And it's a very light motion. Again, this is a new paper for me, so we'll see how it works. But I kind of lay my lead down on the side, and then I just do like a circular motion. And then the closer I get to the center, the lighter that I do it. So I'm going to give her, I'm going to go across her nose a little bit and give her nose a little pink in there. We're going to take this and blend that out a little bit. Over her little freckles. We're going to have lots of layers by the time we're done with this girl. I'll make this a multi-video, because, you know, it's going to take me a while. I'm a slow colorer, girls. So, I don't color very fast. I know I see some people and they just can color really fast and whip it out, and That ain't me. But I think part of it too is that I layer so much. I have so many layers that I continue to put on. And you'll watch how she'll morph and how she'll change as we're adding layers, and how she'll look different as these layers come into play. This paper does have a bit of a tooth, a little bit of a tooth. The paper I used to use, they no longer make for, mixed media. So I'm gonna, let's see, let's find my little darker pink. This is RV21. And let's color her lips. Give her a little bit of liner kind of on her lips. Sorry again, guys. I'm just gonna be sniffing for a while, I guess. And then on the sides of her face, I'm gonna do the RV21 a little bit. Then we're going to go back in with my RV10 and start blending that out again. Okay. Put a little bit of shading under here. We have been having days and days and days of rain, which we really need in California. I am not complaining, but man, it has really been raining. It'll just rain all night long. Maybe we can get out of the drought we're in, because we're in a bit of a drought. So I'm not going to do any editing to this video. I'm just going to put it up for you guys and show you this video on how I do this. And I'm really looking forward to an exciting year and some amazing fun things that we're going to do over on Patreon and on YouTube. So now I've got this blue pencil. This is Prismacolor PC1087 powder blue, and I'm going to go over that marker that I did the light blue there, right underneath the eye, like that. And then this one is, what is that? I can't see that myself. I hope you guys can see that. That is that one. So I'm just going to add a little bit of this around here. Then I'm going to go into her eyes and start adding some more layers of color. Now I'm going to go look for some darker blues for the eyes. And basically I would do the same thing whether I was using blues, greens, browns. I would basically do the same sort of coloring and blending. One of the things you for sure don't want to do is, if you use your colored pencil, you do not want to go back over the eye with your Copic, because it will definitely contaminate your Copic, and it could ruin your nib and contaminate it. Okay, so now I'm going to look for, let's see, this is the color I'm going to use, is E11. And we're going to start shading around the eyes. Then I'm going to go back in with my E000, kind of soften that edge up. think everybody I know and I've talked to has had this bug this year. I don't think there's anybody I know that escaped it this year. It's been a tough one. Okay, let's see. I am going to... Oh, I've got some new pens that I'm going to try. I'm going to do a video on these as well. This is a Zig pen. I think that's how you say it. And it is... Let's see if I can... The light is reflecting. That's why I can't see the ones that are in the silver or the gold. But these are pigment pens. And I want to try these. This says $60, but I did not pay $60 for this. So I don't know why it says $60 on there. But yeah, they're going to be, I'm going to try these out. I'm anxious to try those and do some inking with those and have some fun with it. So I kind of go back over the eyelashes and her eyes once I start doing this, because a little bit of this will get lost in there. This is when I color it. When I ink it normally, I leave it like that, and then you guys can put the depth of how much you want in it. But when I start coloring, a lot of times, you know, you start to lose a little bit of like the lashes and how thick they, see how this one just kind of faded out with the pencils and the markers. So I go back in and I thicken that up a little bit around her eyes. So we are getting ready also to open the barn back up now that everybody seems to be getting better and getting over having this bug. We're going to open the barn back up for some events out here. So keep an eye out for that for you guys that are local or the ones that come to California to visit, because we'll be opening the barn really soon. We're going to be doing some events out here, and we're going to be doing some classes, and we're going to be opening up. We are in the process of selling our house and moving. We are going to be moving closer. Oh, I think it's about maybe 40 minutes from here, closer to my other daughter. My one daughter and her two babies, as you guys might know, live with us, and they're going to go with us when we move a little closer to my other daughter and her three babies and her husband. So we'll be moving the barn, though. We'll be taking our barn with us and setting up a barn where we're going to be moving to. So I know we had a lot of people call, say, you're selling your house, and are you still going to have your barn? So yes, we are. We're still going to have our barn. But we're going to be having some sales, and we're going to be having a bunch of events and some classes, some coloring classes, some crafting classes, and all kinds of fun stuff. So anyway, you guys, I just want to say I wish you all a very blessed next year, and that I hope you all have some wonderful, fun crafting ahead of you this year. And bless you all, and thank you for being a part of my community, for being my friends, and I will see you guys soon. Take care.